Presentation 2.4 of the series Speech, Sound, and Phonics introduces silent letters and the approach the SMILES program uses to assist students in identifying them and reading words that contain them. Silent letters are common in English. Young learners need to be able to identify these letters while reading. Double letter spellings in single syllable words provide an introduction to the concept of silent letters. Since color represents sound, coloring two consecutive letters that are the same implies that each of these letters ought to be pronounced, which is not true. Therefore, the SMILES program introduces a simple rule of phonics which states, when two letters that make the same sound follow each other, only one letter gets to make that sound. Typically, it is chosen to be the first letter, with the second acting as its shadow. These examples are straightforward, but some words can be tricky. Take, for example, the two words neck and catch. In these two words, the same rule applies when two letters that make the same sound follow each other. Only one gets to make the sound. Let's explore the first word, neck. Before discussing the CK spelling in the word neck, it should be noted that the letter C does not have a sound of its own. It either makes the yellow S sound, as in the word face, or the blue K sound, as in cat. In the word neck, both the letter C and the letter K make the same blue K sound. Since the letter C is associated with more than one sound, it is not considered the primary letter in the CK spelling, and instead plays the role of the silent shadow. The TCH spelling. This presents a slightly different issue. The letter T should make the yellow T sound, but the yellow T is already a sound included in the consonant blend ch. To avoid saying the T sound twice, the letter T should therefore be considered as a silent letter. The same concept applies in certain vowel spellings, wherein the sound made by the second letter is already included in the vowel sound. The long A vowel is a blend of two sounds, the second of which sounds like Y. Coloring the letter Y in the word day would only imply the duplication of the Y pronunciation. The same applies to the long O, as in the word slow, where the W sound is already a part of the long O vowel. This leads us to the discussion of long vowel spellings. These spellings tend to be difficult to teach and to learn. The SMILES color code provides an approach that simplifies reading long vowel spellings. When attempting to teach something that is complex and highly variable, it is important to clearly identify to the learner those aspects that are constant and consistent. In the case of the long vowels, this means that each vowel sound should be associated with the most constant and consistent letter that makes that sound. This is referred to as the primary sound-letter association, an association that links one sound with one letter. Since long vowels have variable spellings, a primary vowel sound-letter association becomes a constant in a highly variable reading environment. It affords the reader with some consistency. The shadow analogy is a suggested approach that helps explain the reading of long vowel spellings. When teaching silent letters, the shadow analogy can be useful to help explain the variations in spellings. The analogy compares ourselves and our shadows with primary letters and their shadow letters. We have color and we make sounds. On the other hand, our shadows lack color and do not make sounds. In the case of double letter spellings, we can say that the shadow letter looks like the primary letter, just like our shadows look like us. But sometimes our shadows do not look like us. They appear different. Many long vowel spellings are composed of different letters, where the shadow letter is not the same as the primary letter. The complexity of vowel spellings goes further to include multiple shadow letters, such as the letters G and H in the word high. Sometimes, when we stand close to two different sources of light, each light source casts a different shadow of us. In the case of the vowel consonant E spelling, the shadow letter E is separated by a consonant from the vowel. The shadow letter is not in direct proximity to its primary vowel letter. Sometimes our shadows are cast onto a wall and maybe separated from us by some object. This brings us back to the spellings where the primary vowel letter does not have a shadow. It stands alone to make the sound. Sometimes we do not have a shadow. This concludes the fourth presentation in this series.